Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Sorry. Sorry about that. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tshokiii, aka Tshokiii. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining. Before we get into this video, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. If you have subscribed already, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in as well, like just taking your time to watch my video. I really appreciate it. And yeah, at the end of the video, please make sure that you do share it, you do like, comment as well. So my son is sleeping now, so I'm like, let me just try and bank the minutes that I've got because once he wakes up here, yeah, I can't take videos anymore. So what I wanted to just chat about is just mental health, and I wanted to also just share my journey. So in my previous video, I did explain to you guys like why. I mean, I didn't explain why I am forgetful, and ever since I gave birth, or like ever since my postpartum, I've been like, actually during pregnancy, because you have pregnancy brain, and then afterwards there's another pregnancy brain. So my forgetfulness started during the pregnancy brain, and it continued after I gave birth. And for me, and I'm going to say for me because we're not the same as women. So when I went to go see a psychologist last year because I was not okay, like at all. I was not okay. I think just from like the moment my baby was born, I think, no, not I think, I had, I think sometimes it's just like so weird. It's like, what, me? What, I have depression, you know? So it's very hard for me to say that I had it or I have it, because I think in my mind I'm still in disbelief. But it's not every day when I'm in disbelief. Because at some point I had to accept it so that I could get help. But yeah, let's just go back. Gave birth. I had a good pregnancy, and then gave birth. And when I met my baby for the first time, I didn't have like a, you know, like that love at first sight kind of moment with my baby. I was just like still in disbelief that this baby was growing inside of me, and now this baby's here, and this baby's mine, and this baby is half me, half my husband, although he looked like my husband. Yeah, so I think that was like the first thing that contributed to my later diagnosed depression. And then the second thing was breastfeeding. Breastfeeding was hard, and I had a C-section. So I didn't know until after that, if you have a C-section, your milk will only come like 3 days later. And I think also just the support at the hospital that I was, there was hardly any support in terms of like how to breastfeed. I mean, I watched videos, guys, like I watched videos, I read stuff, but like nothing really prepares you for your actual moment, you know. And someone has also said this with marriage: you can read as many books, but you'll like never really be 100% prepared for your own marriage. And I feel like that's how it was as well with having a baby. I wasn't like 100% ready to like be a mother to my baby, and I struggled with breastfeeding. I eventually, like, it worked out, but it took a like, it took what, 2 weeks before I actually got into feeling confident in my breast milk. Because initially, like, my breast milk was, it was not enough for my child, but I didn't know that at the beginning. Oh, it was just like till to this day, because you also can't see your, like, what's happening inside your breast, so you don't really know what's happening in there. Like, is it there or is it not? And the only way you can tell is like if your child is pooping and if they're sleeping and they're not fussy and all of that. So while we were at the hospital, Letaho was getting top ups, where they're giving formula, just so that yeah, he can be fed. And yeah, that was it was really really hard for me. Whew, I wasn't cry. I wasn't ruin my makeup. um just keep it together. It was really hard for me because I didn't understand why. Like, because I was like, I was eating oats, and I was, I was like doing like the things that I read that I needed to do, but here I was failing my child, and I was just like, are you, yeah, are you even ready to be a mother? And on top of that, I'm in pain. Yes, C-section. I'm like not able to move around, so being idle as well, it's just like, it just makes you feel worse. Yeah, so that was like one of the things, and I've probably not gotten over it 100% because I'm obviously like still getting emotional about it, but also that's just how deep it was for me, because I also wanted to like breastfeed my child up until 2 years, and already like first thing, it's not happening. Yeah, so then there was that, and then we left the hospital, came home. I think we spent a few days here in Midrand, and then we went to Klerksdorp, where at my mom's house. And yeah, I spent my time there, and my C-section like healed and everything. And I think, yeah, my oh yeah, because I went to the doctor. That's the day my breast milk actually like my breast was so full that day, and it was the day when I was just like, I'm done. Like I was just like, yeah, maybe we should just leave this breastfeeding thing. We had formula that time, so we were like doing like I forgot what it's called, where you feed your baby like both breast milk and formula. I forgot what it's called, like there's a name for it. So that's what we were doing. And then I went to the doctor because I was like, I had pains in my back, like my back was so painful. And I had like my bleeding, like from like after giving birth, bleeding. It stopped and then it started again, and I was having these back pains. So I'm like, yo, what if something is wrong? Let me go get it checked out. I went to the doctor, I went to a GP, and she was recommended by my mom's friend. She said that she was really good, and she's also good with like postpartum and giving birth and all of those things. I was like, oh great, let me go. Don't have to go see a gynae. um and then yeah, I got to her and we started talking. She was really really nice to me. She's also a mother, so she was like, I totally understand. And she explained to me that the back pains were because of how my posture is when I'm breastfeeding. And she was just telling me it's my posture, and every night I have to breastfeed my child, and I'm leaning over my child in order to breastfeed him, and that's why I was getting these back pains. And yeah, with the bleeding, she was like, yeah, no, it's normal, it comes and it goes. Hey guys, being a woman. um but yeah, we spoke. She showed me some techniques, like with regards to getting my back posture straighter, which I didn't do. But I tried like sit up straight, because I also feel like I don't sit up straight because I've like growing up I wasn't confident of who I was, and my boobs started growing when I was 2 years old, so I was just always trying to hide that I had boobs from a young age, so my posture got ruined from that point. So I think breastfeeding added to that. Yeah, so we talked, and then during the conversation I'm crying, and yeah, she at that point was like, no, she's telling me that no, I'm depressed, and she wrote a prescription for me to get medication and whatever. And then yeah, I think that for me was just like, yeah. I think for me I was just like, I'm not suicidal, because I associated depression with like suicidal, I don't want to live anymore, or I've given up on life, and I wasn't feeling like that at that point. So I was like, no man, I don't think I'm depressed. I told my mom, I told my husband, I was like, this is what's happening. And I think it also helped me have a conversation with my husband, because I think at that point he was still like working, and he was also trying to be there for my child, and he was also just trying to figure out how to be a dad. And like, I'm not blaming him or anything, but I think we also just, I think both sides actually, we just lost track of each other. Like, we didn't give each other as much attention, because all our attention was going to our baby. So I think at that point I also just needed so much support from him. Yeah, so but we spoke about it, and it really helped me in that moment, and like going forward. And then my mom's friend as well, she also came, and she was like, no, maybe it's just the baby blues, we all go through it. And I did try and also just listen to some YouTube videos on like the differences between baby blues and depression. And I remember also that day I had a call with one of my friends, Latabo, and like, she also just helped me like speak through it, and like asked me how I was feeling, and what did I want to do going forward. And I think those kind of questions also just helped me figure out what is next, like what was I gonna do next. And then my boobs also were very full, because I hadn't been breastfeeding or pumping. And that's also another thing, like breastfeeding and pumping at the same time, it takes a lot of energy. So yeah, I think I know so much more now. I know better, that I know I'll do better with my next child. And I wasn't taking any supplements, which I feel like I should have been like taking. Like, there's these cookies that I could have had, that could have helped with like my milk production at the beginning, because porridge and oats and those things they were not working for me. Tea was not working for me, miss, like that's what like my mom was suggesting, but I don't think it was working. But yeah, from that day, like, my breastfeeding got so much better. I think 2 days later we decided to stop using formula, because it also, the mixed feeding, it's called mixed feeding. Mixed feeding was giving Letago like he was windy. So yeah, he was just so uncomfortable. So when we stopped mixed feeding him, he was feeling much better. Yeah, and I think, yeah, breastfeeding continued. It was very hard after the 4 months for me. I luckily was able to still stay home and work, so I'd breastfeed him while I was working. Like, sometimes I'd be in a meeting and I was like, yo, my camera better not be on, because they gonna see my boob. But I think it also made me realize, corporate doesn't really accommodate moms um in that sense. Because I was even thinking, I'm like, okay, at the office they do have like a mother's room, but I mean, like, I'd have to go there probably every 2 hours to go pump, or else I'm gonna be leaking, and that's like another stress on its own. So it's just like, I can't be going every 2 hours. um I don't know, I never got to do it. So I don't know if you're a mother and you've like successfully like managed to still breastfeed and like be at the office. Though I think working from home helps a lot, but pump for your child while working at the office. And yeah, like, let me know how it was for you, and let me know in the comments, or if you know someone who did it, let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear on a successful story. I think it will just give me hope for, like, when I have a baby again. So yeah, I went back to work after 4 months, 4 months maternity. So everything was going well, I think, with me and my baby. And one thing though that was really frustrating was that I wasn't feeling I wasn't feeling good. Like, my body was just weird. Like, I have like a like hourglass kind of body. Like, now I have rolls on the side. My tummy, no, my tummy, like, it's better now, but it's still not where I want it to be. But it was just like, everything is just like it's not in proportion, and I was just like, what is this? And I went through like questions of who am I, like, oh, like it was just messy for me. And yeah, so, and also breastfeeding, I just found it so uncomfortable breastfeeding in front of people. um yeah, because like, you'd like get comments like here and there, like indirect comments on your breastfeeding and covering up. So yeah, it was just very like a weird thing for me. And I think also that part of me that cares about what people will say kind of um stopped me from breastfeeding my child in front of people. So I needed to go to like a room, but I think that wasn't like that wasn't a big thing. I think a big thing was I don't know what to wear, because now all my clothes don't accommodate breastfeeding. And I was like, I'm not buying clothes because I'm gonna lose weight. So there's no point in buying clothes at this size that I'm at. I'll buy clothes when I've lost weight. Um, yeah, so I think that for me was just hard. And at some point I was just like, "Ugh, I'm not pumping anymore. It's draining, it's painful." um yeah, it was just it was just breastfeeding is just a hard, uncomfortable journey, but fulfilling at the same time. Like, yeah, it's just, yeah, it's one of those. So went back to work and continued breastfeeding up until 8 months. And in between that as well, I relaxed my hair and I had a natural afro. I had like really nice hair, but I just didn't feel pretty anymore because I always had like, when you plait your hair so that it doesn't shrink. So I had those most of the time, and I just didn't feel cute. And I wanted my husband to still be attracted to me, and I also just wanted to feel good about myself. I wanted to look in the mirror and be like, you look cute and look good, and feel like I'm on top of the world, and I got this and stuff. Yeah, so I ended up relaxing my hair. I forgot when, but sometime during 2021, I relaxed my hair, just so that I can, contribute to me feeling good again. And I think I also had some like anxiety on starting with gym because of my C-section. I was so scared. I'm like, yo, what if I open my what if I tear my, what is this thing called again? It's not a scar. Like, what's the other one? The operation. I'm calling it an operation. I was scared that I'll tear it at gym. Um, but I think because I was overthinking everything, I didn't like take it one step at a time. Which I later did, and I think also because of where my mental health was deteriorating around that time. So my mind would just go blank, and I just wouldn't want to think about anything else. And yeah, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you just don't feel like doing anything as well. Like, it's like, ugh, whatever. Yeah. So I think those were like some of the things that I was also going through before I actually went to gym, like for real, for real. And then yeah, it was also really hectic at work. My work environment, was it last, which year we in, 2020, yeah, last year. My work environment was just really horrible. I was working under like um a very like, the environment I was in was like full of anxiety. And um yeah, like, just, yeah, like, it was just, I don't even want to say pressure, because the year before I worked under a lot of pressure, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't like toxic, if I can put it that way. Um, because I mean, I feel like every workplace has pressure, but I mean, if the people that you're working with are not treating you well, yeah, then it becomes like a toxic environment. So that's what was happening with me. It was just, yeah, it was just really bad. So it was contributing. And then I was also studying. So yeah, I was doing my CTA level 2. So here I was failing my tests. And I'm also just trying to make sure that I don't miss moments in my son's life. I'm also trying to make sure that I'm okay. I'm trying to make sure my marriage is okay. I'm also trying some way in all of that to get closer to God. And yo, my relationship with God suffered last year. Like it, he was still there for me though. Like I look back and I'm like, you never left me. Like God just did not leave me. And even when I was like I just like, nah, I can't do this, he was still there for me. And I think that's what I've been learning. Sorry, that's what I've been learning every single year, is that God doesn't love me because of what I do for him, or whether I'm good or bad. He loves me, like, just he loves me for me, and he loves me because he created me, and he wants to be my father and my protector, my everything. And he was literally there for me throughout the year. There was a time when I was like not admitted, I went to the emergency room. The doctor couldn't find out what was wrong, but when I spoke to my sister about it, she was like, no, the cramps, I had abdominal cramps, and I was having diarrhea. I don't know if I was also vomiting, but yeah, I had cramps, and the cramps were unbearable. That's how I ended up in ER, and the doctor didn't know what was wrong. And I feel like even like the experience I had with that doctor was not nice. It just felt like he was, I don't know if he was not enjoying his job or he just was having a bad day. But yeah, yeah, anyway. So I spoke to my sister. She's like, no, it's because of stress. So I was also just living under constant stress, pressure, anxiety, yeah, all of that last year. So it was affecting me physically and obviously mentally as well. I was taking what's these rescues. I was taking rescue almost every day. I was having chamomile tea just to calm me down. Um, and I was trying to go to gym here and there, but because work was also so hectic, I wasn't finding time. Working from home is a trap, guys. Like I wasn't finding time to go to gym because then after work, gotta cook. At some point, I gotta study. Sometimes I'd be working until late, so now I'm not able to do any of these things. Yeah, so it was just a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. I think relaxing my hair when I stopped breastfeeding, things started to feel better. But I mean, I sacrificed things that I didn't want to sacrifice. Maybe the natural hair. I don't think natural hair was for me. Hey, I'm enjoying having relaxed hair now. I'm happy. For those of you who feel like I betrayed the natural girl society, bye. I don't feel guilty. So I did what was best for me. So yeah, I something happened at work. Um, yeah, which led. Okay, so before that, so I decided to. I remember it was on the 13th of July. 13th of July, I took sick leave. And that day I went to go see a psychologist, I think, psychiatrist, I don't know. And yeah, I went to her and I was telling her how I'm feeling, what. And then I remember that morning when I woke up, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to live anymore. I just felt like there was just too much happening and too many expectations from me. And I was just like, yo, God, I can't. And oh, sorry, guys. And I really, really thought, I was like, maybe I should just, end my life. But yeah, I think even in that moment, I wasn't even thinking about my child or my husband, like the people that would be affected. I wasn't, my mind was not even there. Like I was just in such a dark place that those things that I really, really care about, they were like, it's like they didn't exist. Um, yeah, so when people are like, when people end up committing suicide, I sort of understand, because you just get to a very, very dark place and nothing I don't want to say nothing matters, but yeah, like you don't think about the people who will be affected in that moment. All you know and all you want to do is just end the pain. Yeah, so I've tried to commit suicide when I was um, how old was I? I was 15. Um, and I drank pills and got to hospital and they had to like drain them out. I had to vomit them out, and I went to a clinic, a psychiatry clinic, and I went through that whole process, and I think that's what stopped me on the 13th of July from trying to commit suicide. And yeah, I was like, no, I need to go see someone because this has gotten like really, like it's gotten serious. So I went to go see her and I opened up, how it is. I opened up and yo, yeah. I don't know. If you're studying psychology, guys, please like make sure that you are sensitive to people's feelings, because I got there and this lady was just like, okay, you don't have she's like, no, you only have 2 of the 6 symptoms of depression, so you're not depressed. And she was just like, yeah, no, I don't need to come back anymore. She didn't tell me that, okay, maybe you should speak to a therapist just to get you through what you're going through, or I don't know, like maybe Linda was expecting too much from her. I knew I wasn't okay, and I think I did want a medical practitioner to sort of just validate how I'm feeling. Um, yeah, and I just felt like a slap in my face, because first of all, I opened up to you, and then second of all, you didn't try and find a way forward for me. And she's like, no, if I feel worse, I must call her. Yeah, I think, yeah, she said if I have like those thoughts again, I must call her. But right now, I'm not a risk. I'm not at risk of killing myself. Something like that. I don't remember. Anyway, and then I was like, okay, no, I'm gonna find another psychologist or psychiatrist. Guys, sorry, I don't know. I think it was psychologist. Um, I don't have any tissues in here, so I'm just gonna use my cotton pads. Yeah, so I saw another one who lives close by our house, and she was on medical aid. Cause also, like, as seeing a psychologist, getting mental health, um what's this, um getting your mental health checked and all of that, it's expensive. So I, yeah, got someone who's on my medical aid, and they were close to home, so I'd go like during lunch, and she validated how I felt, and she told me, I understand how you're feeling. She was a wife. um I'm not sure if she was a mother, but she was also like studying at some point, and she was just like, what, yeah, no, what you're going through is a lot, and what, and the only way certain things will get fixed is if I leave my job. So yeah, and then she did also suggest that I go for therapy, and because I think, yeah, she's more of like admitting. I think even the first one, they're more on the admitting people into hospital, and if you don't meet those requirements, then I think it doesn't have to go forward. But with her, the second psychologist, she was open to having more sessions with me and talking through it and whatnot. I did also feel like, okay, no, I need someone else. Like, there was nothing really wrong with her, but I think for me, she wasn't right for me. Because I think I do need someone who's gonna validate how I feel, but also not be too soft on me, or not tell me straight up that this. Fine. And then at work, so she booked me off. The second psychologist, she booked me off for a week, and then after, I think, a few weeks after I came back, I had a hearing at HR. Yeah, which was also very it contributed to my mental like it affected me mentally, and um I'm grateful for it because through that I got to see a therapist and I didn't have to pay for it. And I also went back to gym after that. But I really, I think till to this day, how that whole meeting came about, I will just always be like, people out here are not okay. Like, yeah, no, like the workplace guys, yeah, I won't go into details on that. Yeah, so I saw a therapist who also stayed around in Midrand and was an older woman, and she was really great. And she helped me. I think it was the first time because I'd seen like a couple of therapists before and psychologists before, and it was for the first time where I felt like someone was hearing what I was saying, and they were helping me move from where I was stuck and trying to get me out from there to where I need to be. And she was telling me that I haven't transitioned from being like a child to an adult. And I have all these big things that have happened to me. I got married, I started working, I had a child, and I hadn't transitioned. I was like, what? I haven't. And it made sense because that's why I was struggling so much with juggling everything, because I wasn't fully like transitioned into those like heads, if I can say, mentally, or yeah, like physically I'm there, but in my mind I haven't transitioned into it. And yeah, I think from there I also started going to gym, and gym helped a lot. Like I know, like even now, like when I start feeling sad, I'm like, okay, no, it's time for me to go to gym, because if I miss gym for like a couple of like I don't yeah, a couple of days, excuse me, like my emotions, like I just start getting really sad. And yeah, so I need to make sure that I go to gym. I need to make sure I have cry sessions, because what I learned at work was to keep my emotions together, because there's no time to be crying at work. So I'd keep my emotions in, and then by the time I get home, I've moved on, and the emotions, I've bottled them in. So every time I bottle my emotions, it also just makes me really sad. So I've learned that I need to cry it out. And I need to go to gym. I need to do things that I love, and that's what she was also telling me, that I need to do things that make me happy, because a sign of depression is also not doing things that you usually love doing. Yeah, so I think yeah, that's really about it. When it comes to mental health, I am at a better place mentally right now. I'm actually at a really, really good place. I haven't been to gym in a long time, guys, but I'm still okay, which is a good sign. Um, yeah, I think I am happy, and I feel very blessed. And I think also just being a mother, I feel like I am improving, because I mean, being a mother is like an on the job thing. You get better with time, and I do feel like I'm getting better. I do have days where I feel like I'm not a good mother. There are times when I feel like I'm not a good wife, and there are days when I'm like I'm winning. Like I feel like I'm winning, guys. And I guess that's what that's what I'm realizing. Like this is life. Like not everything is gonna be a bed of roses, or whatever the saying is. Not everything is gonna be sunshine and flowers. And yeah, there are gonna be days where it just doesn't look like there are gonna be days where it feels like um it doesn't look good. Like you feel like tomorrow, today, there's no hope, but there is. Like it really gets better, and the only way you can get to the better is to get through the bad. It's not easy, but I think also just being honest with yourself that you know what, I need help, and praying for help that will be suitable for you financially, mentally, emotionally, everything. God, you know, you need to be specific when you pray as well. So you'll see like God will come through for you if you are someone who feels like, you know, I'm mentally not okay. And I mean, yes, we Google and, you know, try and find things on the internet, but yeah, Google sometimes, if you if you're a person with anxiety, it's not always advisable to Google stuff when you're going through stuff. Rather talk to somebody. And if you are that somebody and you feel like, oh, I need to talk to somebody, please DM me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram a lot, even when I'm not posting there. I feel like it's a bit nicer at Instagram than on Twitter. I have a Twitter account, but I'm not active there. I literally go to Twitter for news notifications. And yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna say on mental health. There have been other things that have affected my mental health as well, which are things that I spoke about in my sessions. I spoke about my parents got divorced in 2002, finalized in 2004, but they basically broke up like from 2002 2004. And then I was like daddy's girl. I was a daddy's girl. So after the divorce, I was not a daddy's girl no more. And I think just also those traumas that I have tried to deal with, but because I had so many layers of hurt packed up in my heart, it was taking very long for me to unpack those layers. I hope that makes sense. And that's why I was like, some prayers I prayed a long time ago, and you know, God, we're still working on it. That's one of them. And just yeah, I think relationships as well with guys, those hurts, those also like contributed to my mental health, because yeah, like certain things, you know, they affect how you feel about yourself and how you feel about love, how you feel about relationship, and also your outlook on life. So yeah, there are a lot of things that can affect our mental health. But yeah, I think it's just very important to choose yourself, very important to um, set boundaries, very, very important to set boundaries, being able to say no, and when you say no, also just explaining why you're saying no to the person, especially to people that you love, you respect. People that are close to you, like, they deserve to know, you know, that whenever you're like not okay and you're not your usual self, why you're not your usual self, and that it's got nothing to do with them. But you know, like, some people will be like, I'm going through my own stuff, and people will be thinking it's about them or something, you know. But I don't feel like those people are wrong to feel that way if you had just communicated that you're not okay. And that's basically how I feel. I was like that a couple of times over the years, and I think I'm learning that, okay, if I'm not in a great space, learn to communicate. But yeah, it's, guys, life as a wife, life as just being me, a wife, a mother, an employee, a friend, a sister, a daughter. It's a lot. It's really, really a lot. And sometimes I just want to like go away for a day and just like have time to myself. Um, and like, I don't want to lose myself. And I think this year that's what I want to do. I just want to find myself again and love myself and live a purposeful life and live in like the will of God. I think even with the funerals that I've attended, and you know, it's just like life is so short, and you don't want to live a life where, you know, you're not going anywhere. Even if you're not where you want to be excellent in where you are, be intentional in where you are, be present wherever you are. Even if you're like, "Ish, this is not where I want to be, I'll be happy once I get that car, once I get that house, or once I get that job." You need to be like happy now. and do what you want to do now. And I think even like starting a YouTube channel last year, I was just trying to do things that I love. I love talking and like sharing my experiences and all of that. I enjoy it, and I enjoy doing makeup. So these are the things that I do to make sure that I don't fall back into like a depression. um yeah, so I really just, it takes a lot of effort, but when you're doing something you love, it doesn't feel like it's a lot, you know. But yeah, that's it from me. Please do comment below if you have something that you want to share. If it's something private and you want to talk to me, please DM me. I might not respond immediately. And what's this, yeah, I might not respond immediately or how you need me to, but sometimes, you know, just letting something out, it really helps. And if you want us to figure out a way forward, please do DM me as well. I don't know everything, but I do know something, and if I don't know everything, I mean, if I don't know something, I'll ask someone else as well. Ish, guys, sorry, because I've been so teary, my nose is blocked. But I feel like my nose is blocked a lot because of my sinuses. Excuse me. Whew. But anyway, I still look cute. Guys, like, you know, you need to tell yourself that you're pretty. This is for, I think this is for anyone actually. You need to tell yourself that you are good looking, because if you're not going to tell yourself and you're going to wait for someone else to tell you and that person leaves, you're going to be a mess, you know? So you need to tell yourself, like, the person that needs to love you the most after God is you. Like, you need to like tell yourself you look good every single time. Even if you're like, I remember I used to take selfies a lot. And I'm sharing this because I feel like how you feel about yourself also contributes to your mental health. So if you need to journal. If you need to take pictures of yourself all the time, take those pictures and post and say, I'm beautiful. Whatever it takes to convince yourself that you're beautiful, do it. Whether people like, yeah, it doesn't matter. What matters is how you feel about yourself. And I actually just wanted to mention I yeah, I actually haven't said this to her, so it's gonna be kind of awkward now if I say it on YouTube, but I'm gonna say it anyway. But I just wanted to like send out an appreciation to my sister in love. So this is my husband's little sister, Nana. Like, she's so confident, and I think throughout, I might just cry. Oh, guys. Throughout like my postpartum, I think I really drew confidence from her, and I feel like I and it wasn't even like she was trying to like get me to that place, but I just drew from her confidence. Like, she's so confident in herself, she loves herself, and you can feel the vibe as well from her. And it's nice to have people like that in your life. And I think she also taught me that you gotta love yourself, man. So yeah, I just want to send an appreciation out to you, to her. I love you, sis. And yeah, she's really helped me like feel like not pretty, confident again in myself. And yeah, yeah, if you guys want to go follow her, you can follow her on Instagram. I'm gonna just share her handle there. Go follow her, go draw some inspiration from her. Yeah, she's my beautiful loving sister. Love her so much. Yeah, and I think that's it from me. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. This video has gone longer than I thought it would. I talk a lot. Yeah, Lita was still sleeping. Yo, guys, swimming. Yay! Make sure if you have kids, guys, make sure you take your child to swimming if you want to have a free day. Toddlers, I mean, babies sleep, but toddlers, and then you have to now play with them, and yeah, it's a lot of energy, and we're at that age where, hey, the energy, guys. But yeah, stay young, guys. Don't get too old. No matter how old you are, stay young at heart. Be happy, intentionally happy, and yeah, be great. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like my video. Please share. Um, and please, what is the other one? Subscribe, share, like, comment. Hey guys, be a YouTuber. There's a script you need to follow. But yeah, please do the right thing, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And see you in my next video. So I just realized that I didn't say that the reason why I'm so forgetful is because of the depression. So my therapist told me that usually when you have depression, then you also have memory loss. So yeah, I just forgot to mention that up, but hopefully you guys caught on. Because there's so much to say, sometimes I just forget to say or conclude. But just please bear with me, I'm really trying. But yeah, I hope that whatever message I was trying to get across, that you received it. But yeah.